video. I'll just make two out of this.
So that's some good attention you get it.
Guys, what is up? Doing a video here in Richmond Hill with a guy that I met on Facebook, Kunal, and he imports Japanese cars into North America. So we're going to do two videos today. We're going to do one on the car and one on his business story. Let's take a quick walk around the car and see what's going on here. Let's do a walk around the car. Give me a quick tour. First of all, I mean, the first thing I noticed is it's, of course, right-hand drive because it comes from Japan. Yes. So this will, I mean, last time I drove something like this was when I lived in England, dude. And that was a while ago. So this is like jerking off with the wrong hand. We'll see what that's like driving today, but we're going to take it up for a rip.
There you go.
All right, so yeah, give me a quick tour of the car. What do we got here?
So first, it's a 97 Nissan Skyline GTR Vspec R33.
Okay.
It's in fairly stock condition. I have a few big mods on it. I got the 6-speed from the R34. I've got some Öhlins coilovers, DBA brake rotors, Nismo 400R exhaust, top secret diffuser. Just the works to keep it reliable. So overall, the car is in it has original paint.
Yep.
It's got 120,000 kilometers now. I bought it at 75. So overall, it's been a very good car. So I can show you around here. It's got the Nismo end caps over here, the top secret rear diffuser, carbon.
And this goes right under the entire under tray?
Nope, this just goes back to right behind the rear wheels.
Yeah.
And then it's got a Nismo 400R exhaust. So this is a twin titanium system. So you can see back there, it's two pipes going all the way back. It's a pretty gigantic exhaust, but it's
oh yeah, okay,
pretty quiet.
Yeah, I didn't even hear you pull in because I was just sitting there waiting for you. But yeah, there it is.
It's straight through, so it does the job quite well.
Are these aren't the factory wheels I put on the car, right?
No, so these are Nismo LN GT1 wheels. They come factory on the 400R.
Okay.
It's in the same spec, so it's a 3-piece wheel, very lightweight. They're quite iconic in terms of the 400R.
All right, cool.
You see it pop up in a lot of old school Japanese videos. So aside from that, on the interior, it's quite stock. It's a bit of a mess right now. I was eating some food in there, but
yeah.
It's just got a sneaky air fuel gauge over there, just to keep it pretty stock looking.
Okay.
The transmission, and that's about it. I kept everything else in factory condition. The bolsters were still in very good shape, so I haven't had a need to change the seats at all.
And have you messed with the motor much? Like changed the software, up the booster or anything?
Yeah, so we have an aftermarket ECU, Apexy. Last we dynoed it, made about 355 wheel. It's got a full welded intercooler. These GTRs are known to pop up the couplers on the intercoolers.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll find a lot of those literally just explode after boost, and then you got to put it back together. So we welded it so that doesn't happen. It's got Apexy intakes on it. It's actually got an LE coil ignition system, which is an interesting mod that a lot of GTR guys are doing now. They run it from the R8 and the RS4 and the S4.
So there's two air filters that run in through the intakes, eh?
Exactly, yeah. So, yeah, so you can see the little removable piece over here.
Yeah.
So we have the full welded system going all the way in.
Okay. So that manages heat nicely. What's this thing up over here?
That's the oil catch can. So that catches all the blow by and reroutes it back.
Gotcha.
Really, aside from that, and then you have the Öhlins flag arc coilovers. So these are the ones with the external reservoir on them.
Yeah.
Completely transformed the car. It honestly felt like an R34 after. So my main thing when I drove an R34 was that it felt extremely flat and braced. So in turns it would be completely flat, and I thought it was more so because of the way the chassis was built. But it turns out these coilovers can literally just transform it. So overall, it's been a great set. I think I have to rebuild it pretty soon.
All right, cool.
The interval's around 30,000. So.
All right, well, there's a quick walk around on the car. We're gonna go for a rip and see what this looks like. I've never driven a right-hand drive GTR. I know they're pretty hyped up and a lot of people love them, so let's go see what the hype's all about. Guys, what is up? It's got the keys to this bad boy. Let's fire it up. And all right, so in this video we're gonna do more of kind of like the features and specs on the cars, because I am a complete GTR noob. You guys gonna throw some comments down and make fun of my ass, that's fine, I don't give a shit. But I want to kind of learn about this ride because there's a lot of hype around it, and people spend a lot of time and money to really import these things and find clean ones and stuff. And you found a way to do this for yourself, and create a business out of it as well. This is a 6-speed out of the newer GTRs, right?
Yes, out of the R34, and the shifting is quite close, so the throw is very short between gears, so keep that in mind. I find a lot of people, friends that I let drive it, they end up misshifting a bit, so just keep an eye on that.
Clutch take up is super high. Is that because of the clutch, or is that just the car itself?
That's the way the Nismos are. It's unfortunate, but it works really well under. Yeah, that's common. That's very common.
That was the first thing I did when I drove the cars in the UK when I lived there. Was you always hit the wipers on.
Yeah. So.
Is that?
Yeah. So that's probably that sounded like fourth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So always use wall, and it should be okay.
Got it.
A funny story about that stuff, because it's reverse, so if I see a friend on the street or something and I forget, instead of flashing my lights, I usually put the windshield wipers on and the spray, so they just don't get to see me anyways. Do
you drive this thing for the most part all the time? Is this like your daily driver, or
I'd say bring it out about 3-4 times a week. Okay. And no driving in the winter, of course. Okay. It would do really well, but they just don't have the salt protection like North American cars.
Yeah. Alright. It's not that much different from driving any other car.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one thing I wanted with it.
You know what it feels a lot like? When I was living in England, my dad had a WRX, like a 1999. Can I get through to the Leslie from here?
I'm not too sure.
Let's go on an adventure. Sure. And you know, all-wheel drive, flat 4 Boxster. Right. Made a ton of power. It had the Pro Drive package on it.
Oh, very nice.
But I think this is going to give you a little more oomph.
Yeah. You know, those GC8s are phenomenal.
Yeah. You know what the funny thing is about this thing, man? It's like it's not that hard to drive a right-hand drive car, is it? It's really not that much different.
Yeah. It's actually a lot more harder to just think about driving a right-hand drive car than it is actually driving. You know, when people don't have the cars and they think about it, it seems very complicated, but.
Goes good, eh?
Yeah, it goes good.
I can see why people like these things.
That 6-speed made a huge difference. It really did.
Is that 6th gear or am I in 4th now?
It seems like you're in 4th. Yeah.
There we go. Oh, it's tight.
Yeah, very tight.
Very tight gear pattern, eh?
Yeah. So yeah, what you'll find is a lot of these GTRs with the stock 5-speed gearing on the R32 and 33 on the street.
Up so people can hear.
Yeah, sure. On the street. The gearing just isn't right, because down low an STI or an Evo will take you off the line in a heartbeat. Right. These really have to be revved up high. So with the 6-speed, because I mainly drive on the street, I wanted to change all of that. So it brought gearing down about 700 RPM, and very significant change now. So
yeah. And have you tracked this car or quarter-miled it?
No, not as yet. I tracked it before with the 5-speed last year, but I'm still trying to work out wheel bearing issue in the front before I go really beat on it. But for now, I mean, mainly street driving, and it's a wild beast to have on the street.
Yeah, it's pretty easy going. You know, it's like a standard Nissan sort of thing. You know, it's got all the Nissan gauges and buttons and feel to it, but it has a very the all-wheel drive turbo feel. I love my dad's WRX when he had that thing. It was dope. And Preza is what they would call those things there in the UK.
Very popular import again from Japan. You can get these, of course, in right-hand drive, but you can get some really pristine examples.
What about was it the Pro Drive P1? That was a very low production limited edition. Can you get those from Japan?
Yeah, I could likely source it out directly from the owner. You won't see them pop into auction. Right. You will see the Type R come in though, the 2-door GC8. Okay. So those are really phenomenal for doing a conversion. When people want to do the 22B, they put the wide body on it. I mean, it's a great project car to get into.
And like from a driver's perspective, if somebody's considering buying a right-hand drive import from Japan, for example, from a guy like you, is there anything that they need to be aware of when driving a car like this in the city? Like, the cops bother you? Do you need a special permit or anything? Or
no, nothing like that. The cops will sometimes say that you need a right-hand drive sticker, but if you look at the Highway Traffic Act, you just need to have working turn signals, and that trumps that rule to have that. So really, because it's 15 years old to be imported, it's also exempt from a lot of so what you'll find is that they're exempt from a lot of things. So emissions, for example, you register as gray market emissions, and it's extremely easy. I mean, I had a buddy with an R33 Skyline, and he passed with no cats in, so it's literally just...
So you don't even need cats?
It's just
the wipers, there we go. So like, you don't even need cats to drive one of these on it?
No, I mean, it depends how lucky you are with the test, but in his case, he didn't need cats. When I go, I always put in cats anyways, just in case.
It's got no power until you get into that boost, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing, and then whoa!
Yeah. It was actually a lot worse before. It's gonna keep happening.
Oh man, I'm gonna keep hitting those wipers, aren't I? Wish you guys could see the windshield wipers going. It's hilarious. It's like, yeah, nothing, and then yeah, there it is, 4,000 RPM. All right, we'll just stay within the legal limits because we don't need any trouble today.
I actually got a ticket out here a couple of weeks ago on the way to get a police check.
Oh really?
Unfortunate. Just they were hiding in someone's driveway.
Yeah.
So that person, I mean, that's the really tough part about streets like this, is because you think there's no place for a cop to hang out.
Actually, a little tip for you.
Yeah.
Cops are not allowed to do radar on private property. So any of the driveways here,
Really?
they're all private property. I had a paralegal tell me that you can fight them and get them thrown out like that.
Wow.
It's only if it's crown land, so government driveway access point to hydro, to a water pumping station or something like that. But private driveways, they're not allowed to do radar from.
Wow.
I don't know if they've changed a lot in the last year or so, but that was a couple of years ago.
I mean, she said that that person was actually part of the whole thing, and you know, she was worried about people's speed, so she actually gave them permission to radar out of there. But
okay.
I mean, if it's a rule that just stands regardless,
you might be able to trump it. I don't know. You'd have to check.
I paid it already like an idiot, so that's it.
So
I felt like I was dead to rights.
This is like one of my favorite roads. You probably know this little twist up over here.
No, I've actually never been up here before.
Okay, so there's a little dip in the road. There's a lake.
Right.
There's a twisty road. I don't know your car that well, so I'm not going to push it, but just to get kind of like a feel for the handling.
Sure.
I used to throw my M3 up and down this road all the time. It was such a nimble little car.
Nice, I'm excited. I mean, I only live about 20 minutes away from here, so it's good to know we have a road.
That's all we have in Canada.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
in Ontario anyway.
In Ontario. BC's got a whole different system of roads going on. It's phenomenal over there.
And there's no traction control, no ABS, nothing, can I say?
No.
Yeah.
It's got ABS actually, but traction, I mean, it's mainly the Tesla system that does the changes.
That's good handling a little car with the coilovers, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it was on teens before, and it handled well, but I find these give you a lot more confidence. The Olin's flag guard.
Fourth gear. There we go. What else do we need to know about these things? You know, as far as the differences with other Nissans and stuff you get in the North American market. Like this is very different from a 370Z, for example, right?
Oh
like,
yeah,
it doesn't
for
even
sure.
compare.
I mean, first of all, the platform, the twin turbo RB26, is a fantastic motor. It takes a lot of abuse, very much like the Toyota Supra's 2JZ. Both very popular engines, and I mean, you can crank out 450, 500 wheel without really sweating about the engine breaking on you.
Oh, really? Okay.
It just has to be set up well, it has to be cooled well, tuned properly. So what you'll find with a lot of Skylines in particular on the market is that they're sort of garage built, not really a lot of reliability, and people don't throw a lot of money at them to do it right. They just simply want to strap a big single turbo on it, call it a day, and enjoy their power.
Is this a twin turbo or single?
This is a twin turbo.
Okay.
So it's still running the factory twins actually.
Okay.
So really, when you're getting into one of these cars, I bought this car in complete stock form. It was one owner. All it had was the exhaust on it. And to me, it's been a very reliable and safe ownership experience.
Yeah.
I've got to modify it and enjoy it without worrying about the little things breaking. You'll find a lot of imports that come into the country, they're accident repaired, so there's a whole, there's a whole whack of used parts that get thrown at them, so you'll have different things just wearing out on you constantly. So if you are getting into a Skyline, I recommend for really anyone interested, and I always tell my customers this, is to get in something stock and build it up yourself.
Okay.
Because
it's a good piece of advice.
Yeah, sure. It's very, very tough to go ahead and start taking on someone else's build, especially with these cars.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a good piece of advice on any build. I mean, if you buy a modified car, you don't know how they built it out and what they did to it to modify and pull the extra power out of it. So,
very few cars have a parts catalog like Skylines, though. I mean, you get there's so many parts and so many companies that, I mean, there's some Canadian companies actually selling a lot of suspension components for these cars. And the consensus was that a lot of them failed over the first year or two. That was a local Canadian company. So it's very easy to throw the wrong parts at it. So for sure, getting a stock car. So that's why a few of the cars I have in inventory, they're literally stock condition GTRs, or they're modified by a company like Nismo Omori factory in Japan. So that's certainly one really strong piece of advice there. Along with that, I mean, the typical competitors for a car like this would be your Evo and your STI. And to me, these cars don't have as much torque off the line. But when you get up to high speeds and you really have a big straightaway, these cars do pretty well compared to those.
Well, it's a lot smoother too. I mean, the thing I noticed, versus like a flat 4, like out of the Subarus, is inline 6s are always so smooth, like silky smooth. I mean, especially in BMWs and stuff. But this is a nice smooth motor.
Yeah.
Power comes on hard, and it just keeps going to redline. Yeah, I appreciate you letting me take it for a rip.
Sure.
We're going to hop into your business origin story.
Right.
And kind of getting a bit of what that's all about, and tune into that video in a bit, guys.